Hi, this is Raisa Gonzales, and this is Miss Matilda, resident princess, aka Furball. I'm going to tell you a story about when my son was born. So, when Banks was born, it was actually an emergency delivery. I was rushed to the hospital in an ambulance with all Japanese speaking staff. A little unnerving, especially as a non Japanese speaker. But it worked out well in the end. Got to the hospital. He was delivered. No complications really, other than the fact that, he had had his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck twice. So that was the reason for the emergency C section. They administered me a very strong antibiotic for the surgery, and I didn't react very well to the antibiotic. So, day two, all of the good and bad bacteria in my system had been killed, which led to me having some pretty extreme stomach issues. And so I was in the hospital for 7 days, and during that time period, from day 2 to day 7, not keeping anything in my system, I got really weak, and I was really starting to get nervous at this point because I didn't understand why I was having this problem, and the nurses couldn't seem to get anything to stay in me or get me to feel any better. So I finally insisted, we've got to call my doctor. He speaks English, went to school in the US, but he is Japanese. So these nurses are conveying everything to him over the phone or whenever he's in to the hospital in Japanese. And they speak very little English, even though it's an international hospital. So I didn't realize what was being communicated from them to him. And he calls me the last day that I'm in the hospital and he says, Mrs. Gonzales, what seems to be the problem? And so I explained to him what's going on, and he says, Ah, I think maybe what you have is the blues. And I said, the blues. And I'm thinking this in my mind for a second, and I said, Dr. Sakamoto, are you saying that you think I'm depressed? And he says, oh, no, 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 no. We don't use the word depression. No, no, we call them the blues. And I said, well, Dr. Sakamoto, I appreciate where you're coming from. And although I know it could be possible that you would come to that conclusion, I don't have the blues. I have the poos. So that was one of my fun miscommunications in Japan.